Hola a todos, muy bienvenidos al instructivo de Vitte. Vamos a mostrarles paso a paso cómo utilizar todos los componentes de este increíble dispenser. No se lo pierdan.
When you receive your equipment, remove the top cover that is attached with magnets. You can receive your dispenser with a small internal tube like the one you are seeing, or with a larger external one. This is the charging tip for refilling the tube. Never try to disassemble or manipulate any of these parts, it is dangerous. When recharging, it must be handled by qualified personnel. Turn the cap counterclockwise to check that the argon gas is open. The manometer indicates that the charge pressure when full is 100 bar maximum. Once you have turned on your dispenser and loaded the Vitte app, you must connect to a Wi-Fi network. In the upper right corner, swipe down, select the Wi-Fi option, enter your business or home network, and that's it. In the upper left corner, you will find the installed version of the application. You can verify if there are updates available on the Vitte page from the tablet browser. In the menu we have cleaning, configuration, calibration, and temperature. Sliding from the bottom up, you will find the Android navigation buttons. For greater comfort, we recommend that you keep them hidden to avoid touching them by mistake. Enter the configuration section. First, you must enter the name of the company and the location, previously given by the Vitte staff. Now touch update, and then the legend machine on the left. To choose the dispenser that corresponds to the list according to the amount you have. You can change the password and corroborating it next to it. Finally, you can check the different use options for your dispenser. If the interior light option is checked, the light will be permanently on. If it is not checked, it will turn on when you are operating the equipment and turn off after a few minutes. Validate credit. With this option you will be able to load credit on a card or on your cell phone, and you can only dispense having credit available in one of these means. If it is not active, the dispenser will be free. Whenever the validate credit option is active, the report consumption option will also be automatically activated. We recommend that the infinite bottle option be marked so that the machine interprets that the bottle is always full, preventing users from coming to ask why they are not allowed to dispense if the amount of wine is not enough for any of the programmed measures. This option works together with the server. In the machine list part, it also activates automatic replacement. This will reset the days in position counter every time the volume of the bottle goes below 0. Informing the consumption will allow you to have a record of all the consumption that the machine has. On the server, you will be able to corroborate these consumptions. In case you want to access the consumption of your Vitte dispenser, we will go to the reports section, consumption list. There, we will select in the calendar icon the period that we want to consult about our consumption. In this case, from October 22nd to November 25th, we will hit the apply button and then the search button. All the consumptions made in that period of time will appear. In case you need to export it to your computer, you can do it through Excel export and it will be automatically downloaded to your computer. The offline mode invalidates all previous options except the light one. From the offline configuration, you can choose the measurements in tasting milliliters, half a glass, and glass. The values placed in the video are illustrative. Once modified, we save with the Save module, we accept in the bottom left to save, and we accept to register the offline configuration. Don't forget to save at the end. For these measurements to be reflected, the offline box must be checked. Remember that you will only see the measurements, there will be no name or image of the wines placed. Did you know that with a single screen you can control up to 9 peaks? Or 3 modules of 3 bottles each? From the configuration screen we enter modules. Touch update and the name of the connected modules will appear on the left side. In this case we have only one. To corroborate the location of each one that is connected, we will use the test button. A small flash of the interior light will be displayed and thus we will know which it is. In the central column we will choose the corresponding position being 1 left. 2 medium, 3 right. If you only have 1 or 2 modules, the remaining ones must be defined in a position even if they do not exist. The complete central column is always complete without repeated positions. Then we confirm with save. Once we passed our logo and it was uploaded to your server by Vitte staff to the server, we clicked on Update Logo and a thumbnail will be displayed on the configuration screen. We save the configuration, accept and exit the screen with the return button. When you return to the start, you will see that your logo is not found. For this, you must close and restart the application. Now yes, your logo will appear on the main screen. Select the bottles you want to place in the dispenser. In this case, we will be placing a white wine and 2 red wines from the Bianchi Winery, Famiglia line. To place the bottle, lift the lever or turn the fastening nut according to the model of bottle hanger that your equipment has, and insert the fishing tube inside the bottle, then you will have to fit it all the way up. In the event that it does not enter or we must exert a lot of force to make the handle close, we adjust the clamping pressure with the lower regulator, only for hanger with handle. It is important to remember that you have to handle the bottles carefully and make sure that they are well placed by applying a small downward force. Since we have a white wine and 2 red wines, we have to place the temperature divider that comes with the dispenser. The divider has a sliding metal part to adjust the seal with the door, and allows it to be attached with the round magnets at the bottom of the dispenser. We have the possibility of placing 2 different temperatures, on the left for the white wine compartment and on the right for red wines. Whenever the temperatures are different, the divider must be in place, and if the temperatures of both chambers are the same, we remove it. When changing the bottles, whether one is empty or you want to change it, make sure to do it carefully, because you will be able to feel that it releases pressure when removing it. Raise the lever or loosen the hanger nut, and when you take the bottle out of the spout, accompany the fishing tube with a piece of paper. In this way, you will prevent the dispenser or your clothing from splashing. Let's remember that we are working with a collaborative wine base, and it is very likely that the wine you are wanting to place in the dispenser is already generated by another member of the community. Before creating a new wine, always check if it already exists in Wines, Wine List, and edit it to correct or improve any of the loaded fields and put the price, since this is a unique value for your place. When entering the wine list, there are different columns with the information of each wine label entered into the system. When searching for a wine, we can do it by name, winery, or its variety. In this case, we are going to search by name, the Famiglia wine. I will press enter and it will bring up those wines that match that search on the screen. Then, if I want to be more specific, I'll put the variety I'm looking for, in this case Malbec. I press enter and it will bring me on the screen all the wines with the family name and Malbec variety entered in the system. In this case, they are all coincident to the Bianchi winery. The prices, as some will notice, appear in 0 pesos, since although it is a collaborative database, the value will correspond to each server of each place individually. We will select the desired wine and touch the edit button. On the wine editing screen, we will find more detailed information on each one. I'll choose the Gran Famiglia wine from the Bianchi winery. We can make modifications, if we believe them pertinent, always to improve the community. Mandatory fields are marked with an asterisk. They can also be modified. For example, we can edit the winery or the variety by selecting from the drop-down list, which finds matches as we write. We must always select from the list. If it does not appear, we add it with the plus button on the right. Change any field if is wrong. Also, if we know the origin, we can add it. By default, the volume of the bottle comes in 750 milliliters. Generally, all have this volume. It is also editable. If we find an error, you can correct it. Keep in mind that the changes will impact other users who are using that wine. Always collaborate to improve the community. In the tasting notes or the image of the label, we can also make improvements and corrections. Let's remember that it is a collaborative base. If any type of error is detected, it can be notified with the report button below. The Vitte team has detailed information on who makes each change. Not having made any type of modifications, I will give you the cancel button, but in case of having made modifications, we confirm them with the save button. To associate the wine that we have placed in the machine with the system, we go to the Machines menu, List of Machines, we will select our module, in this case we have only one, and then the bottle. Remember that position 1 is on the left. We will see that it has already loaded a wine in it in that position. We want to change this wine for the Famiglia Bianchi Malbec wine, so we will go to New Wine, a list will appear, we use the search filters, and when we press enter, all the wines under that condition will appear in the list. We will select the Grand Famiglia Bianchi Malbec, go to the bottom of the page and press the save button. The new wine was automatically loaded for us, and these changes will also be reflected in the dispenser. On the main screen, touch the logo in the center and your loaded wines will be displayed. Choose which one you want by touching the label, then select the desired size. Finally, place the glass under the spout that is illuminated and confirm to serve. To configure prices in the wine list according to each store, go to the Preferences menu and it will direct us to the Store Preferences screen. On the one hand, we have the editable measures expressed in milliliters, and in the right column the price makers that define the profitability for each measure, automatically calculating the value for all the wines and dispensers associated with that store. Remember to confirm all modifications with the Save button. To see the value of the bottles or tastings reflected, we will go to the Machines menu and select a list of machines. We will choose our position, and we will see that I have a Famiglia Bianchi Malbec wine loaded in the system. Below the page, there are 3 columns: measures, volume and price of each of them. In this case, the tasting of 30 milliliters has a value of 204 pesos. In order to round these values, we will go to the Preferences menu where we will find the rounding option. Clicking will display a list with different rounding options. No rounding, rounding up, standard rounding, and rounding down. If we select the standard rounding, we will assign a value, in this case as an example of 50 pesos. We will click on the Save button and we will select the same procedure again. As we will see, the prices have already been modified, as will also be updated on the dispenser screen. To create a customer in our database, what we have to do is go to the menu and select the customer category. There is a list of clients. It shows the ones that we already have loaded in our database. To create a new one, we click on the New button. Here the Customer Edition screen will appear. We will load the data in the fields that have an asterisk marked, since they are mandatory. For example, name, balance, and the category of the client. Although it is not mandatory, we recommend completing the telephone field in order to generate future marketing actions, entering the corresponding country and area code. In the customer category, we have different types that you can use to segment your customers and that they receive promotions. Finally, the card number will be automatically reflected when passing the card through the reader connected to the computer that you use at the cash register of your business. To finish loading the client, we will click on the Save button. To associate a customer to a cell phone and load credit, the steps to follow are the following. First, you must go to the Preferences menu, and towards the end of the page, we can download the QR. It is recommended to have it printed in the store for greater comfort. The second step is to go to Add Balance in the Customer List tab. Now on the phone, you must update the website that was entered when the QR was scanned, and the client automatically appears in the system. In the event that the client fails to connect with the system, to generate the link with an existing client again, we must go to the list of clients, select and edit the one that corresponds. Then press the Associate button, thus waiting for the connection of a telephone showing a rotating loop. At this moment, the client on his phone updates the web that he uploaded when he read the QR, and that's it, the connection is re-established. There are 2 ways to add balance to a customer. It is as follows: we will go to the menu and select from the menu Clients, List of Clients, and below the button Add Balance. Support the card in the reader that is in the computer of the box, the data will be loaded and you have a field to add balance. If you want to remove balance, this value accompany it with a minus sign ahead. Being previously on the screen to add balance, you can load on the phone as well. The customer must scan the QR, or if they have already done so, update the website on the phone, so their information and their current available balance will appear on the screen. In this case, the client has 3,000 pesos to continue consuming and wants us to charge him 200 pesos. The balance charge confirmation screen will appear and we will click OK. Once the balance has been loaded, it can be displayed on your phone by updating again. You will have a button with a central number for each dispenser that the premises have. To dispense, you have to select the corresponding dispenser number. In this case, we only have one, and press the corresponding button on the phone. The buttons of the different measures will be automatically enabled in the dispenser and the available balance will be displayed on the screen.
Muchas gracias por llegar hasta acá. Esperamos que disfrutes este dispenser tanto como nosotros. Y gracias a Bodegas Bianchi por acompañarnos. Salud.